G'day guys, Alex Mann here from Melbourne's Election Wire team. Now, one of the more colourful figures in the Australian Senate over the past few years has been Senator Stephen Fielding. We caught up with him about his chances of re-election.
Look, I suppose in 2004 they didn't think I'd be elected, and in 2010 they're saying that it's going to be very tough. It will be very tough, but what I'll say to many voters, you actually have two votes on election day. I know that sounds controversial, but you actually have two votes. One vote determines who is in government and who wins that. The other vote is your Senate vote. Your Senate vote doesn't determine whether Labor or Liberal win. The Senate vote is a House of review. It determines who should actually have a look and hold the government to account. And that's what Family First has been doing for the last 4 or 5 years. And and I think people, once they realise that their Senate vote doesn't determine who wins government, they'll start to look at other parties like Family First to actually represent them in Parliament. I really wanted to go over there to hear firsthand what was actually really happening there. We hear a lot of stories back here, but none of us really get a chance to actually go there and actually see it firsthand. And so for about close to a year I was trying to get there. The government had been making it difficult to get there, which is a little bit strange, but I was finally able to get there. And look, at the end of the day, this is going to be crucial for the next 2 years. This war on terror is real, and our troops are putting their lives at risk to make this world a safer place.
What do you make about claims that this is not so much about terrorists and about terror, but more about showing Australia to be supportive of the alliance between the US and Australia?
Look, I can understand people saying that, because obviously when you have deaths of Australian soldiers, it really brings it home that how dangerous it really is. But at the end of the day, we all know that Afghanistan was a breeding ground for terrorists, and we need to try and help the Afghanistan people deal with that. And that's what we're doing. So I think really for the next 2 years, I think we should just give our troops complete support and then review it in a couple of years' time. Everybody comes from a family, so we support those people, ordinary Australians. As I said, that's the key to it. We all come from a family, and that way we want to strengthen those links and actually make the system work for ordinary Australians and their families. And as I was saying before, business has a voice, environment has a voice, so unions have a voice, so ordinary Australians and their families.
Sorry to interrupt, Senator, again, but in terms of a family and ordinary Australians, and we're talking about what actually constitutes a family, which sorts of people would be represented under a Family First party, could you talk us through exactly what sort of families you're talking about?
I think the key to it is that we want to stand up for ordinary Australians and their families. So everybody comes from one. I think this is the key to it. We don't want to get hung up on the issue about what it is. It's a bit like, as I said, business has a voice, unions have a voice, the environment has a voice, but ordinary Australians and their families don't have a strong voice, and that's the reason why we're there.